Hi guys, I know it's been about a week or two here since the last time I spoke, and it's been a little sidetracked lately, and I just want to get back touching base with everybody. And um, what I feel like God's been telling me to talk about recently has been something that I had somebody ask me one time, and I'm about to tell you it's not on exact point, but it will lead to the point. And that was someone asked me, how did I get over the fact when my life left me that when I started to make my changes, and how did I deal with that? And I said the best way to explain it to you is I accepted the fact that she was never coming back. That's a hard concept for us to understand sometimes, that just because we start to make changes and the people we've let down throughout our life, we have to understand that these people may never accept us again, and it's a hard reality that you're going to have to live with. And that brings me to the point, like I was telling you, that I tell a lot of people a lot of times that you know it's commendable to make changes for our wives, our spouses, our children, our friends, but the fact of the matter is, if you go into this change, and the only reason why you go into this change is because you want your spouse back, or you want your kids to accept you again, or you want to keep the friends that you have, and you don't want to let them down. Well, I'm gonna tell you right up front that you're not gonna make it. And the reason why I say that is, and I'm not saying this in a bad way, that we shouldn't want to make these changes to win our spouse back, or to have our children to accept us again, or have society let us back in. But the thing is that, so if you go into this thinking, well, this is who I need to change for, well, what if that person doesn't take you back? What if that person doesn't love you anymore? What if that person doesn't want you anymore? So what's the next step after that then? Well, the odds are is that if that was the reason why you were changing, well, guess what now? You just gave your mind a reason to stop making that change. So what I tell people is, you know, I was fortunate enough that God put me and my wife back together, but I didn't make that change for her. I was fortunate enough that my children talked to me again, but I didn't make that change for them. Now, do they benefit off my change? Absolutely. But I made that change because I was done being who I was. God gave me that door and I walked through it, and you know, but at the end of the day, I didn't care what they thought. I really didn't. And that sounds mean, but I had to look out for me. And the end game is that, I'm a better person, and it's helped my family out. So when I say that, like, it's some people are going to take that the wrong way, but at the same time I don't care, because you know what, I am doing me, and I will continue to do me. And in the process of doing me and making a better me, it has made me a better husband. It's made me a better father. So when you start to make these changes, don't go into them going, I'm gonna be different now because I want my wife or my husband back, or I want my children to love me. Go into them knowing that you need to love yourself, and the most important person on this planet is yourself, and everything else will fall into place after that. So we can't help anybody else or love anybody else if we don't help ourselves and love ourselves first. So just think about that. And maybe, like I said, I always go into this telling you that I can never give you all the answers. I can just tell you what's worked for me. So you guys have a good evening, and I hope to talk to you soon. Good night.